Have you ever wondered what really makes a song feel exciting, or maybe predictable, or just deeply emotional? Well, it turns out the answer isn't just art, it's also math. Today, we're going to decode the hidden mathematical language inside the music you listen to every single day. So, let me just start with a question that might sound a little weird. What on earth do Travis Scott's hi-hats have in common with a graph from your old math textbook? The answer, believe it or not, is everything. It's all about pattern, intensity, and some seriously explosive growth. And that's really the big idea here, the feeling of a song, that journey it takes you on with its build-ups and drops. It's not just some random magic. It's actually built on structures, these patterns of rhythm and intensity that you can literally map out and understand mathematically. So how do we even get from a simple beat to a full-blown mathematical function? Right, let's break it down to its most basic, fundamental building blocks. Okay, it all starts with just a single sound, one beat. That's our first step. You arrange those beats together, and now you've got a sequence. When that sequence starts to follow a rule, well, you get a pattern. And that pattern, as you can see, is really just a mathematical function in disguise. All right, now let's see how this actually builds out by looking at two of the most powerful patterns in all of music, the steady and the explosive. These are like these two opposing forces that define so much of the rhythm we hear every day. And this is where we connect the rhythm directly to the feeling. On one hand, you've got this linear rhythm, the growth is steady, it's constant, it feels predictable, confident, like a steady march. But on the other hand, exponential rhythm is just explosive. Its rate is multiplying, which makes the music feel intense and like it's constantly escalating. So first up is the linear groove. This is the rhythm of a constant, steady pace. Just think about that confident, even-keeled flow you hear in a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar verse. It feels grounded, totally reliable. Visually, it looks just like this. You've got beat 1, then beat 2, then beat 3, and each one is landing with the exact same amount of time in between. It's what's called an additive pattern. You're just adding one more beat at a constant rate. And the math behind this? Oh, it's the classic linear equation you probably remember from school, y equals mx plus b. If you were to plot these beats on a graph, you'd get a perfect straight line. It's a picture of predictable, steady growth. But now, let's totally flip the script and talk about the exponential buildup. This is where the energy just multiplies. This is that heart-pounding intensity you feel in those rapid-fire hi-hat rolls in a Future or Travis Scott track. That feeling of acceleration is absolutely undeniable.
So the pattern works like this. In the first measure, maybe you get one beat. In the next, boom, it doubles to 2. Then it doubles again to 4. Then 8. You can literally feel the pace quickening and just how much denser the sound is getting with every single measure.
This rhythm maps perfectly to an exponential function, y equals 2 to the power of x. See, it's not a straight line anymore. It's this steep curve that's just shooting upward, visually capturing that feeling of explosive, heart-pounding growth. Okay, so linear and exponential, those are foundational. But music is filled with all kinds of other mathematical shapes. Let's explore a few more advanced patterns you can start listening for. First, we have the parabolic arc. This is a build-up to a peak and then a fall-off. A musical crescendo and decrescendo. You hear this all the time in those powerful vocal runs from artists like Beyoncé. The intensity builds to a climax and then it just gracefully fades. It feels so dramatic because it mirrors the natural arc of a breath or a shout, a build of tension and then that satisfying release. That perfect arc is a quadratic equation in action. Next up is the step function jump. This describes those abrupt, sudden shifts in rhythm or intensity. Think of the punchy stop and start beats from artists like Missy Elliott or Outkast. Our brains expect this smooth flow, so when the rhythm suddenly just jumps to a new level, it creates this jolt of energy and surprise. That's what makes it feel so punchy. In math, this is called a piecewise function. And finally, there's the periodic wave. This is that smooth, repeating cycle that is the absolute backbone of so much electronic dance music. When you hear those hypnotic, looping beats from someone like Daft Punk, you're literally hearing a sine wave. It's this mathematical predictability that our brains latch onto, creating that trance-like pulse you can get lost in for hours. So, after all of this, what does it mean? Well, you've basically just unlocked a new listening superpower. You now have the tools to hear the hidden architecture inside the music you love. So let's just do a quick recap of your new listening toolkit. You can now hear the steady march of a linear pattern, the explosive climb of an exponential one, the dramatic arc of a quadratic, the sudden jump of a step function, and of course, the hypnotic loop of a periodic wave. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with. Go put on your favorite song, any song at all. Close your eyes and just listen. Listen closer than you ever have before. Listen for the patterns. Can you hear the math?